Okay, so first of all, I'd just like to say hello. Some of you might not know who I am. My name is Mrs. Buren, and I am a second grade teacher here at Elk Valley. For anybody who was here last night, you might have already heard this part. I am just kind of somebody who loves technology. I have my master's in educational media design and technology. So that's one of the reasons that it's me presenting tonight. So yesterday I showed you how to actually get into the Google Classrooms. And most of you, from what I've been hearing from other teachers, have been doing so. So I am currently in the teacher view. And then I switched over, and you can see up here, I'm now under my student account. Okay, so this is my fake student account. So this is what your kids will see when they log in. They'll first come to that stream. We want to go ahead to the classroom. During the classwork, you're going to see anything that needs to be done. So anything under the required assignments is what is due at the end of the week. Okay, so you can see these assignments are due on Sunday. For the most part, they're going to be assigned on Mondays, due Sundays. Every so often that'll change a little bit, so pay attention to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually click through all of these assignments today to give you a little glimpse into what your students might have to do. So most of these are actually our second grade assignments. I chose these assignments this week because they were all review, and they should be on the easier side because I don't want you worrying about content this week. I really just wanted you to worry about how do I use Google Classrooms. So I'm going to quickly click through them, and no, I'm not going to give the right answers. Yes, they'll probably be wrong, but I'm just showing you how to quickly do them and submit them. So one of the things that you might see is this when it pops up. So you can see this one is Google Slides. I can click right here and get into the assignment, but I highly recommend actually going to this button that says View Assignment. The reason being is you're going to see the very important Turn In button. This is mostly for the teachers. This alerts the teachers that you have completed it. So what I want to do first is read the directions, and then I can come over here to click on the actual assignment. So this one, the first one, was done for you. Oh, there we go. So this is just telling you that you're going to see what's going on, which is the whole point, so the teacher can see what you've done. So you can see the first one here is kind of done for you. Some of them were done as examples. So I'll come to the one that needs to be done. So these fishies, you can see I can click on. I can't click on anything else on the screen. So I would want to come up here and drag the correct fish up to the top into the correct answer. So one of the big things that I see that when you're in Google Classrooms, sometimes things like to disappear. If it happens to disappear, it's okay. One of the things that you can do is actually come over to the undo button. And there he is again. Or if we need to, he disappears and the undo doesn't work for some reason, you can come in. We had someone today, I think, said that they just flipped the sign. Whatever you need to do to get creative to get the answer, we're going to understand. Okay, we're all trying to figure this out. So I want to make sure I'm clicking through all of these slides and completing all of them. So one of the things we might miss is that we only did 1 or 2 slides. So we want to make sure you're actually clicking through and doing them all. When you're done, you can come back to this main screen. You can see because of how I did this, it actually opened a completely new tab. So I can X out, come back here, and now I'm going to turn it in because I did all of the slides. Then it's going to ask me again. Yes, I'm ready to turn it in. This takes a couple seconds, so we have to be patient. Like lots of things on the internet, sometimes you have to breathe a couple of times before it starts working. So now I can see that I've submitted my work. That's all I need to do, okay? I had some parents today doubly making sure and writing me some comments that they were done. As long as you clicked on that blue button, you are good to go. The teacher will know that you are done. Okay, so now I want to make sure that my work is done or if I have anything else to do. So I'll come back to my main classwork. Here I can see that this is still blue. So it might be different in different classrooms. I think my main classroom is actually black and gray. So anything that's that dark color means you still need to complete it. Anything that is gray is already done. So that's a big hint to see if you remember to do that turn in button. So I'm going to show you another one that's using Google Slides. Again, I could click on through here, but then I don't have that turn in button. So I really want to make sure that I'm going to view assignments. This way I can see that turn in button. So this time it's a Google slide, but there's nothing to move on this slide. This time I actually need to type into the text boxes. Right now you might not be able to see that they're there, but they are. There's a good chance that your teacher already added them for you. So anywhere I think there should be a text box or I think I should write something, if I click there, there it is. You can start to see that blue text box. If I want to write my answer, I'm going to double click it and then I can type. Okay, if I needed to carry, I can type it up here and then I can type my answer down here. Okay, I'm going to do that for every problem. On this one, I actually created it. So you can see that there's these reminders on the sides. Anytime that you see this gray speaker button, that means there's something to listen to. So on this one, it's just me reading the directions of what to do. So again, we can say, whoops, I made a mistake, something disappeared. My box went away. You probably accidentally pressed a button to delete it somehow. It's okay. Again, you can hit that back arrow, that undo arrow down here, and it'll reappear. If for some reason it completely disappears, come over to one of the other text boxes and make sure the cursor isn't blinking on your screen. So I want to actually click the blue. Then I'm going to do Control Copy, which is Control C, or Control V to paste. And then I can drag and drop it to where I need it to be. So that's one of the questions I got a lot today because we accidentally delete things. That's what you can do in case that happens to you. Again, I'm going to come through, whoops. I'm going to come through and I'm going to make sure I do all of my slides here. Okay, once I know I've done all of the slides, then I can come back, I can X out because it automatically saves for me. I can come back here and then I can click the turn in button. It's going to ask me if I really want to turn in. Yes, I do. I'm going to wait for that moment. And then I can see that it's already done when I go back to my classwork. Okay, now again, I'm here back to my main screen. These two are grayed out, so that means I completed them. I still have some assignments that are blue. So those were my two examples of Google Slides. Again, this week I made them a review just so you can see what to do with them. This is a second grade class because I teach second grade, but you might see anything similar from pre-K to fourth grade. The next one I'm going to go over is a Google form. Again, yes, you can click on it right from this screen, but I highly recommend actually going into the View Assignment button. Okay, again, it's because this button's here. This one only says Mark as done. That's because you're not actually completing anything and turning it in, because a Google form is going to do all of that for us. So again, I'm going to click into the Google form. It says to sign in, but I'm already signed in being in my Google Classroom. So on this one, you can see that the new screen pops up again. If it doesn't pop up in a new tab, it might just be in that same window. I would type in my name. On this one, I would choose my teacher. And then all I have to do is go through and click. Oh, I ended up on the right ones. Just clicking to get through it. And so on this one, I kind of showed you what a drop down looked like. And on this one, it's an open-ended. So that would mean I actually need to make a sentence. I'm going to type in my sentence. And then I submit. Okay, so you can view your score here. That may be on or off depending on the type of quiz. So now I can see which ones I got correct and which ones I got wrong. And I can kind of get an idea of what my grade would be. Here's the catch. Anything that I have to type in is not a part of this grade. So when you actually get a grade for these assignments, you might have a little bit different of a grade. So this is actually out of 10, not out of 9. So even though you've clicked submit, you are not done just yet. Okay, so we would X out. We want to come back to the original assignment and mark as done. This is again the part we're forgetting the most. It's okay. Just be prepared to get a message from your teacher on Sunday or Monday saying, hey, if you didn't get to complete the assignment, that's okay. If you did complete it, make sure you've gone back and turned it in or done the mark as done. And what they're talking about is this button right here. So I'm going to go ahead, mark it as done. Yes, I want to submit it. And that one was nice and quick. So I can go back to my main screen, go back to my classwork, and I could be just hitting the back button to do all that as well. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3 of my assignments grayed out. That means I can go to the next one. It does not matter what order you do any of these in. Okay, so if you feel like doing spelling today and reading tomorrow, that's fine. Do whatever you want on each day. You have a whole week to do this. My last ones here are some Brain Pop assignments. So we have a free account currently. You can see I put in here that our username and our password are Eves123. Okay, so when you click on this, I just signed in not long ago, so it didn't make me sign in. But if it makes you sign in, it's Eves123 for the username and password. You might see Brain Pop for the science and social studies because they have some really good videos explaining everything. And then we ask that you take the quizzes. There's a lot of really good resources down here. If you have time, I highly recommend to do those. So again, there's nothing really to turn in on this one. I'd want to watch it, take the quizzes, X out. I can go back here. Even though there's nothing that I had to actually type into, which in the following weeks, I see there being something to type about, we can mark it as done. This again is just showing the teachers that you did the work, okay? If you forget this step, you're going to get a message from your teacher asking you to come back to here. All right, when I come back, now I can see that I did all of the work except for the one, and that's just another brain pop one. I also have my enrichment down here. These are optional. So if they stay blue, that's okay. You don't have to turn these ones in. So again, when I click on it, I don't have to turn these in, so I could just go from here and watch the video. So there's nothing to turn in here. So I would highly recommend that on Sundays or whatever the due date is, that you come back to this screen and you're double checking to see if all of your assignments are the correct color. So by time you're done, you want to make sure that all of your assignments under module 1 or module 2, it's going to be whatever week we're on, under required assignments are all in gray. That means you've remembered to turn in all of your work. All right, I'm going to check and see if there are any questions over here.
We do have one.
Okay.
Lori, I just wanted to say one thing too. Even if they're not gray, they can check in each one and it'll say turned in. So if you click on one of those assignments, if you look up in the right-hand corner, just even on that main screen, you can see that it's turned in. And if you go to the other one that you didn't do yet, it'll still say assigned.
So like this one that I didn't click on, you
right.
can see that it's
so that's another way to check as well.
Yes. Mrs. Gaston, would you like to answer that question?
I don't know it either. Mr. Craig is on here. Mr. Craig, I'm not sure. Mr. Craig is our tech director of technology, and I'm not. So, do you see that first question there about discover's disabled, Mr. Craig? Has that has that happened? Have you seen that before?
I have not, but we can definitely look into it. This is the first time I've seen that.
All right. So, Mrs. Cruz, I am going to post, I posted the IT site there if you want to put that in so that Mr. Craig can get back to you. It's right there on the site, the it@girardsd.org. So they can look at that and try to figure that out and help you out.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll definitely look into it because it's something we haven't seen in the past.
My husband, I bought a new laptop, and so I was trying to put it in the laptop, the account for Mariana, so she can be all set for tomorrow, and that's what happened. It said it's disabled, so I couldn't even. It doesn't have even option for apps, you know, like the apps in the corner, right corner. It doesn't have it.
Oh, okay. Can you tell me if it's a Windows 10 machine?
Yes, it's a Windows 10.
Okay. I will definitely look that up. I have a suspicion that it's something in Windows 10.
Okay.
Windows 10 is notorious for that.
Okay, next question.
The Galaxy S9 question, I am being told that the text boxes aren't showing up. If you are in that screen where you can create your own text box, I'm not sure if this is a solve or not. Oh, because I already submitted it, I can't show you. But where I was showing you before, where you could make your own text box with the T, try that. Otherwise, I'm wondering if it might be just, it needs to be done on a computer.
Yeah, a lot of the Android type tablets we are struggling with right now. They are not allowing the text boxes or within the slides to do anything because it's running a very simple operating system it doesn't understand.
Yes. The ones that are to print, at this point, I'm not able to speak on that.
Is it an assignment where they have to draw something and then put something back? If that's like a kindergarten classroom, what I've told kids to do as a workaround for right now till we figure that out is you can draw it on anything and take a picture and submit it back to the teacher. Or in some cases, I know the teachers aren't even requesting that it gets submitted, just that you mark that they did do it. But let us check on that and we'll get back to you.
Okay, and I could maybe show when you're under the assignment, if you take a picture and you want to submit the picture, you can do add or create, and then you can do the file and you can drag your picture into here, and that's how you can share the picture with someone. So if you're doing a photograph of something, when you're in the assignment, you can do add or create and you can add that picture in there.
Ms. Buren, I don't know if you've ever used the drawing tools, but many of them have very simple drawing tools within the Google applications, which are sometimes interesting for drawing.
Yes. I'm not very good at, I don't know if I can do it. Oh, this one's the, yeah, they're not so easy to draw in, but you can definitely do that as well. All right, again, if you do have questions real quick, the chat bar is at the bottom and there's a little icon that says chat. That's how we're seeing these questions. I'll give you a couple more minutes if anyone else has any questions. Otherwise, if you have questions about the hardware, so like the actual Chromebook or the tablet that you're using, you're going to want to get a hold of the IT department. Their email is it@girardsd.org, or if you're more comfortable on the phone, it's 774-5666, extension 6400. If it's something to do with Google Classrooms, a lot of the teachers are able to answer those questions, or sometimes those teachers are getting a hold of teachers like me that might be able to get to it.
There's two questions on there, and these both, one pertains to kindergarten. They're wondering, there's a lot of PDFs that they're having to do, and they don't have a working printer. How do they turn it in? I think we need to look into that more, because I thought that the kindergarten teachers were trying to make them where you can interact with them, and they were making a copy for each student. But if you do an activity, you can absolutely take a picture. I'm not sure that, Tom, there's a question about whether the camera on the Chromebook can be used to photograph it, but I don't really know that.
It can. There's a simple camera app. You could just hold it in front of the camera and then submit it that way. The cameras are enabled.
Okay.
And I know some of these answers are a little, probably not, some of you folks probably aren't completely comfortable with them. We are going to do some more live sessions, and we will try to get answers and actually show you how to do this in a different session.
I got the if you add or create a picture or a drawing, how do we know it's from you? As long as you're in your Google Classroom and you're in one of your assignments, it shows up with your name on it. You don't even have to worry about doing anything. Again, with the tablet, the text boxes not being able to be editable, we are working on that. Tom, our tech guy, had talked about that a little bit earlier at how we're working on that.
And I'd also like to just say, you can see how technical some of these programs are when the boxes don't appear. They're not necessarily user-friendly. This is something that the teachers are learning and are aware of too. It is very impressive to see how many of the students today figured out and problem solved how to use tech. I'm blown away on how successful it was, and the feedback that I've received from the teachers is very successful. And as a principal right now, I can't tell you how awesome it is to see so many kids and parents learning this stuff and figuring it out, which is what we do. So I just want everybody to know, when it gets stressful and you can't do something, we have an awful lot of flexibility here. You just need to let us know. And if we can't figure it out, your students are going to get credit for it, but we will figure it out, or we'll have to go a different route. So as the teachers are getting more creative and trying to make it easier, we are, hitting those hiccups. And again, this week, it was all about just trying to see what our capacity is, what the parents' capacity, what the students' capacity is. And it's pretty good. We do have some small issues here and there. We're always going to have those. But just keep letting us know what your concerns are. We're going to try to keep picking one item and doing a quick video of that, just like we are now, with some quick Q&A following that. I think it's pretty helpful. And then we're going to post these on the website. So thank you very much for logging in tonight. Let's see if there's any more questions.
I do have one more thing that brought up something for me. When you go into like Google Slides or the Google Docs and the answers are already there, or you're not able to click on anything, please just message your teacher. There are like 3 hidden different places on all those things that the teachers have to click, so you can actually edit those, and it makes one for each person. So please be patient if you're the first one on and that happens. Please just send your teacher a quick message, because like I said, there are literally 3 different places we have to remember to click for each assignment, so that doesn't happen. So please just let us know and be patient with that. I appreciate that. I know that happened in some of the classrooms this morning. We all appreciate your patience with that. I know it can be frustrating. Again, as a teacher, I am so appreciative right now of the little messages that I got, and then you willing to try to figure it out with me. So for the first day, I was really excited that we got so much work done and the kids were ready to get on and working. It was really great to see.
The kids are excited. So many of them. That brings such a smile to my face. So thank you very much for logging in, and until next time, stay safe, everybody.
Mr. T, there's one more on here that we didn't address. Just quickly, one family member is working from a tablet. When they click on the text boxes, they can't type an answer because the keyboard doesn't pop up. Is there any way around that at all, Mr. Craig?
Yep.
Do you know?
There isn't with the Android tablet. We've been suggesting using a computer or the Chromebook. We're trying to see if there is an application we can purchase to work around that problem. We haven't found any free applications that will work on the tablets at this point with the Google Slides and Google Suite. So we're hoping to be able to inform you of that shortly.
And just to remind everyone, if you have questions or concerns, don't hesitate to get a hold of the teacher, but you can also email Mr. Trenowski or Mrs. Gaston at any time. We check our email and we'll try to get back to you, or at least get you in the right direction for stuff. So you don't have to wait until these live sessions. If you have something that comes up, please send us a message.